Howdy, this is Scott Don with Lone Star Ultralight, and today I'm going to be showing you how I set up my hammock. Okay, to start off with, I have this roll here that I made from 0.8 ounce DCF, and side, unsnap this. I have my tree straps. I have my tarp continuous ridgeline. I have a small dog bone made out of amp steel in case my straps aren't long enough. And I have my 4 stakes for my tarp. So I'm going to start with my straps here. These are made from 1.4 gram per foot Dyneema webbing from Myers Tech Hammock Lab. I'll link down to his channel and eBay shop in the description so you can pick this up for yourself. And on the ends I have these Evo loops that I made. Also Jeff also sells these. Now link to them as well as to his videos where he talks about them and shows you how to make them. They really are quite amazing. Okay, so here we are at one tree. I'm going to have to try and do this one-handed because I didn't bring my big tripod. But it's going to come around the tree. Okay, and then take this loop, put it up around the strap, and take the button here, if I can do this one-handed, and just push it through like that. And then pull tight. Now you're going to want to make sure that your straps are flat all the way around the tree. We don't want to cause any damage to the tree. Okay, now I want to talk a bit about how I have my hammock stored and how I go about setting it up. So here I have a double-ended stuff sack that I made. And out of each end, you can see Evo loops. These I made out of 1.6 millimeter Dyneema from Emma Kites. You can get it off of Amazon. And this is something that I'm trying out for myself. I only weigh about 140 pounds, so I still have over a 5-time safety factor on these. And I'm just curious in testing out the durability, both with wear on the channels of the hammock as well as on the webbing, and just seeing how it works. It only saves about 10 grams over amp steel Evo loops and continuous loops, as I'll show you I have on my straps. But just something I wanted to try out. You'll notice on this end here I have a piece of red grow grain. This identifies my head end. I had it as red amp steel, but I don't have any red Dyneema to make these Evo loops out of, so I had to improvise. I do plan on eventually getting some and replacing that. This works for now. So I lay head right, feet left, which I'll show you what that means in a minute. So I want this head end to be to the right side while I'm setting up. So let's go do that now. Okay, so here we are at the straps. You can see on here I have these 2 continuous loops. This one acts as a handle to allow me to adjust this loop. Now I've locked it onto the straps. I hang my hammock with a Beckett hitch, which can be a bit difficult to adjust and get right, and this will help with that, and I'll show you how it helps here in a minute. So all I'm going to do is take this loop, if I don't drop it, stick it through my Evo loop here, and loop it around like that, and that will hold it. You can see it kind of slips a bit, but it stays there without me having to actually tie the Beckett hitch. Now I'm going to come over here undo to draw a cord, open this up, and I'm going to walk this over to this other side. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So loop through over the button knot and then pull that tight. Okay, so here you can see the hammock's kind of set up, but it's definitely not where you want it. So first thing I'm going to do is raise my foot end, and because I have this lark's head onto here like that, I can just pull this up and it will stay there for the most part. It's kind of slippery, I found, now that I've added a bug net to my hammock. So I'm probably going to move and decrease the diameter of my cord. So I think I'm going to have to move over to doing a prusik instead. But this will help me get it a bit adjusted. I'm going to want this higher. Okay, so I'm holding it now so it doesn't slip. But this is about a bit closer to what I want. I'm going to raise foot in just a tad. Okay. That side slipped a bit when I did that. So now I'm going to tie a double Beckett hitch. I'm going to take it, wrap it around once, and then twice, and then through. Just like that, Beckett hitch is tied. For me, I found that I can get away with a normal Beckett hitch even with the slippery Dyneema, but most people need the double. I have to go pull that a bit tighter. And do the same thing over here. Once, twice, and through. Okay. Oh. So that's the hammock set up. I want the foot end a bit higher, so I'm going to set down the camera, adjust this, and then be right back with you. Okay, so now I have it adjusted to where I like it. You notice I had to raise up the straps a bit higher so I could get the 30-degree angle in the straps that you need the hammock. So it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but my foot end is slightly higher over here than my head end. This is so that when I'm sleeping, I kind of slide down to my head. It's just more comfortable. You get less pressure on your legs and knees, and it results in a better sleep. So I'm going to take you around my hammock a bit, show you some of the stuff that I have on it. This was the first hammock that I've added a bug net to, and I just kind of was doing it with pieces I had laying around. So I'm definitely going to do things differently my next one. So this actually started out as a hammock gear netless hammock. My last hammock ripped on me while I was off at college and I didn't have access to a sewing machine, so I just picked one up I could order. I made these peak kind of triangles here from Hyper D300, which is very excessive and heavy, but it's what I had laying around. Looking back, I had enough bug netting that I could have made these triangles out of that. It would save quite a bit of weight. See here, it's where the two zippers ends meet. And it's just not very good here. It kind of puckers up. But it works. Bug netting is 0.9 ounce no-seam mesh. Hammock body's 1.6 ounce Hyper D. I believe Moroccan blue. These pack hooks here, or quilt hooks, came with the hammock from Hammock Gear. Here I've added some pullouts to try. I haven't really found they're necessary, but I had them on here. I think I'm going to add some a bit closer in and try that, see if it works a bit better for me. The zipper does go all the way around on both sides here. That's so I could try out getting in and out on each side. I found that I like this side better, so next hammock only gonna be this side. I have zipper pulls here from 1.8mm cat eyes reflective Dyneema from shoot, I forget who. I'll link it down in the description. I have short pulls on the outside and these nice long pulls on the inside so I can reach it without having to get up too much. Up here you'll see my ridgeline organizer. I'll show you that a bit more when we get inside. Speaking of which, let's do that right now. So I have it unzipped. Just gonna sit down here. As I said, I'm head right, feet left. I'm getting out in this side. I can just lay back in the hammock like that, and I'm in. Now I need to zip it up. These zipper pulls, see, so I don't have to get up too far to reach it. Makes it much easier on me. And as you can see, I have quite a bit of room in here. So I have my ridgeline organizer up here with 3 pockets on each side. So up in these pockets closest to me, I normally put my phone, battery bank on this side. Then I'll have glasses, which I'm wearing right now, and then headlamp. Then I have extra space up here. Sometimes I'll put my headlamp in this bigger pocket. That just kind of allows me some flexibility in what I put up there. So this is pretty comfortable. Here I have my ridgeline. So on the end here, on my free end, hopefully it focuses on me, I have this button knot, just like we have on the Evo loop. It's a figure 8 here. It's not really focusing. But I'll try and show you it closer up on the tree. On the other end, I have a tack toggle. I'll show you how that works once we get up there. Here we are up at the tree. But I'm going to take this, come around the tree, just drop that in. So I have the button figure 8 here. I want to get this about the height that I want the top of my tarp to be. So about here, just above this top of my hammock. So all I'm going to do is take this button knot here and stick it through the second loop, just like that. So you can see there, that holds it pretty securely when I don't yank it out. So pretty securely, go hold this with my camera hand, pull it up against the tree. That's very easy to get on, no hard work to snag on anything. It's wonderful. Pull this end out. This end's going to be a bit more difficult for me to film one-handed. Okay. So here's the tack toggle. You get this from Jeff Myers. And see, I'm still on this far side of the tree, about a couple feet in this case. I'm actually going to pull this a bit closer. And then all you do is you pull this little handle here, twist it, and go over the end of the tack toggle like that. And that locks it in place so it can no longer slide. Okay, so now we got it locked in. You have to make sure that this loop here goes towards the back, away from the tree. I just had the other way around and it kept slipping on me. But this is holding much better. Okay, so on the ridgeline, I have these continuous loops pressed on. And these are for attaching to the tarp. The tarp I have in one of my snake skins, which are available on my shop. I'm going to do another video just on these and their advantages. But just like with attaching the hammock, you have an EVO loop on the ends here, these continuous loops. So you just take the continuous loop, push it through, and around like that. Easy. I'm going to do same thing on the other side. Around and over. Just like that. I go pull these tight, centering the tarp over the hammock. And that's the main advantage, at least in my opinion, of the continuous ridgeline is it's very easy to set up and center your tarp compared to two separate or a separate attachment system. So now, kind of twisted there. I will come over to this end here and just go pull the snakes in back. Like that. And tarp comes right out. Now we have the tarp all set up, laying out. So now we just have to stick it out. So I actually have two different length guy lines on my stakes. They stay attached to my stakes. On the stakes with the reflective continuous loop, I have a shorter guy line set. I believe these are 5 foot in length. And on these, I have a longer guy line. And I think these are 8 foot. I don't remember exactly. So I use the long stakes on the front side or the side of the hammock that I'm going to be getting into, and it allows me to go into what's called porch mode, which I will also be showing you guys. And then on the back side, I use my shorter stakes because I won't be going into porch mode on that side. It's just extra weight that you don't really need. On these stakes, as I mentioned, I keep the guy lines attached to the stakes. I just find that this creates less of a mess. On the end here, you can see how this continuous loop of shock cord that's lark threaded onto this main guy line. So I'm going to take this continuous loop, and just like everything else, I'm going to take the continuous loop, put it through the EVO loop, and over the button knot. Okay. And now I have my guy line attached. I'm going to unspool it all. I'm actually going to want it to be much closer. So I'm going to start about here. Okay. Go come up here. And then I can pull this tail end here. Oh, and it just frayed my shock cord. Wonderful. So that just happened. I've been thinking of replacing the shock cord with just normal continuous loops made out of the same material, and it appears that that's definitely going to have to be a change. I'll fix this. I'll show you better on the other one and try to not destroy it. Okay, so here we are on the other side. This one I was a bit more careful with. I'll definitely be switching the shock cord out when I get back. I'll just be going to a continuous loop made either out of the same reflective cord or out of some of the 1.6 millimeter Dyneema cord. So this here allows you to pull tension on the tarp. The shock cord's a tensioner as well. Helps keep the tarp taut overnight as it starts to sag, especially since this is a silk nylon tarp. So that allows you to pull tension on it, and then to lock it in, you just take it, loop it around. You're basically tying a Beckett hitch, just like for the suspension. Pull it through, lock down, and now that's not going anywhere. So this is the front end here. I have it pretty short right now. I'll set up the back side and then show you around the tarp, and then I'll show you porch mode. Okay, so I have this tarp set up and I'm sitting in the hammock right now. This is kind of how I'd set it up if I was expecting a storm. Maybe pull the sides in a bit further, get them a bit closer to the ground. But as you can see up here, I'm sitting really close to the tarp ridge line. So this gives me the maximum amount of protection possible. Okay, so I kind of lied. I'm not going straight into porch mode. I raised it up a bit more. You can see, not really quite as high as I thought I was up here. So I'd probably raise it up maybe another foot or so. Okay, so I've gone and raised the tarp up. You can see about maybe 2 feet. And this is a bit closer to where I would be most of the time. Just dropped you guys. As you can see, there's quite a bit more space up here. I still kind of have to lean over a bit. I could go higher. So this is where you'll find me set up most of the time. So I'm not really standing up in here all that often. This will give you pretty decent protection in a storm, as long as you don't have super high winds. Okay, so I've got my 2 sticks. They're both actually pretty long, pretty tall, as you can see. Definitely taller than they need to be. They ideally would be, actually I don't even know if you guys can see, about this tallish. So I'm going to start over on this corner. Going to loosen this up all the way. I'm going to undo this here. So I said this is actually my first time doing porch mode with my new guy lines. I'm going to undo it here, wrap it around once, and it should be good enough. Then reattach it, just like so. And I'm going to pull out my stake. Pull it out. Make sure I got good tension and put it in the ground. And I don't think you guys can actually see. I think I'm off screen now. Okay, so that's actually a bit lower than where it would ideally be. I should have put that up on the stick higher. But it's pretty good. So now on the other side I am going to do up higher. And ideally I want a bit of a slope in one direction so that the water runs off. You usually want it to be in a corner. Kind of that tends to usually be best. Although I don't usually do porch mode when it's going to rain. I usually save porch mode for when I'm pretty sure it's going to be clear weather. Or maybe light drizzle. Okay. So this corner I'm going to do quite a bit higher, actually. I'm going to go almost up to the top of the stick. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull my stake out over here and pull it back. I don't think you guys can see me anymore, but oh well. Okay, so here we have porch mode. As you can see, this side here is a bit higher. So water should ideally run down off of this corner here, or maybe even off the back side. So I can just sit down here and I have a wide open view. As you can see, it's like a porch, hence the name. And if it's just gonna be a light drizzle, you could do this. I typically reserve it for nights I know are going to be clear. So like tonight, there's no chance of rain, so if I was out camping, I'd probably be like this. It's also something I really only do if I'm alone or with a group of friends. If I'm expecting other hikers to come by, I won't do this because it's not much privacy. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. In addition, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos.